What a beautiful day to be alive, my future millionaire friends. What's going on, team? It's your boy Jdun, Trades with Team Bull Trading, and I hope you're all having an amazing day. We are live and back on the money mission with a Team Bull Trading recap and an overall stock market update. So in this video, I bring on GD Investments, Team Bull expert on supply and demand, and more importantly, Team Bull stock market assassin. And he's going to go over how he caught the top using his own strategy that he's going to share with you in a non-fast paced environment in the middle of the day, and something that hopefully you can apply to your trading to have better results and to make more money in the stock market. And then I'm going to go over how I traded today, some setups I was watching off the open that worked out very well, and how I found those exact levels. So stick around for that. And if you like making money, if you enjoy transparent trading, and if you get some value from this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button in the bottom right corner. Comment what you want to learn next below, and let's get to this education together. GD, the man, the myth, the supply and demand legend. How you doing today?
Good, bro. It was a great day. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. And I know it was a great day for you. You caught that massive top on QQQ. And for myself, it was a pretty good day too. Caught some nice puts. Little interesting in the morning, but nonetheless, a lot of amazing education for the day. So starting that off, speaking of which, I want to go over my daily game plan I gave to the Discord this morning. So as you see here, my levels on watch were my supply of 397 to 398. That was for reject, and 391 area for a bounce. Now I want to show you that because the levels ended up working out beautifully, as you will see in just a moment. So let's first start out with the 397 to 398 and with the Team Bull trading recap. Now, full disclosure, in this morning, we had two signals in voice. Both went for around 20 to 25%. We entered a little early. Now, my zones were still damn near perfect. We went to 399, little more drawdown, entered a little early on voice, caught this move down here, caught this initial spike down here. Both went over 20%. Nonetheless, it fumbled the execution just a tad bit on that overall. But my overall thinking in my zones, this is what's important. The education that we have there is what is really going to get us to that next level. And a lot of people had in Team Bull. Looking at this zone up here, yes, we went to 402.5 yesterday. But for me, looking at this action, that how we ended the day yesterday, we had a big resistance right here. Let's go ahead and pull up our trend line tool together. Go get this up here. We had a big resistance around the 398, turned to support, back to resistance right here. Then we have these bottom touches around this 397. So with that, this is what formed my supply zone up here where I wanted to watch for puts. Unfortunately, it overshot just a tad bit. It showed that my levels were right. This 398 ended up being the top of this channel. Break to this, turn back to support, then back to resistance as we see here. Beautiful, just overshot a tad bit. Now to the flip side, how did I find this bottom before it happened of 391? Gave this morning. Everyone who took it in the Discord banked, as y'all see here. And how did I find this? Well, I'll show you. I got you, fam. So we go back and we look a little further. We had a huge demand zone on the 391. We had this bottom tick here before a big rally up. Big previous resistance up here, as you'll see here, turn back to support. And many times when you have that flip, you're going to come and retest it, especially after a volatile move, and use that as your new support area of confluence and see that big move in the opposite direction. So overall, great analysis again with levels. Team had it before it happened. Love helping you guys learn my rationale behind things. And then it all comes to watching price action, watching these candlesticks, and watching how they form in real time, and executing with confidence, baby. So now that you have the scholastic stock fair of all things charts and daily watch lists, I want to turn it over to GD. GD caught the very top on QQQ today. Absolute banger of a call, as you'll see here. Let me pull this up. Told the team he was looking for puts right up in the area around 9:58 my time, 11:58 Eastern time. And it ended up going where he exited around 80+%, but nonetheless ended up going all the way to low a day, probably 400%. Now let's go with the education on that. Let's get it, GD.
Let's go. All right. So starting out on this QQQ trade, I had a very good supply zone up here at this 313, 314 level. We touched it yesterday. I did play it yesterday, but it was a little tricky because we had an FOMC, but we did respect it. Sellers were proven to be still in this area, push it down. So coming into today, I really didn't have much interest in taking this trade, but we had a really aggressive push up, and then we start stalling out. But before I show you how I got into this trade, I'm going to show you the hourly and the 4 hour on how I got this zone in the first place. So if we go out to the 4 hour, we can see we had that area where sellers were sitting. We had a nice push up and then a significant move down. That's all the way back far in the past, but that doesn't really matter because as you can see, price action finds its way all the way back, touches that same exact zone. Sellers step in, push the price down, and we don't touch it for a while. Now, coming to current price action, we touch it once and twice in the last 2 days, but it's still been holding. So therefore, still gives me conviction that sellers are still in that area. And until we break that area, I'll continue to play it as I did today. So moving down to the 5 and 1 minute, how do I enter this trade is pretty simple, but let's not focus on the zone really. Let's focus on the price action. I see a lot of people when they're trading supply and demand just trade the zone. Just because they have that area marked out doesn't mean that it's going to work. You need price action to confirm your trades, to give you the best risk to reward, and just ultimately set you up for success. So looking at it here, I started to see that rejection at this 313, but I did not enter here. I entered at 11:59 to be exact. And let me get this so I can show you. So we started to see sellers step in. We had a really hard, good uptrend in the morning. Started to see some stalling. People were calling flag pattern. This is a flag pattern. We're going to continue higher. Well, the thing I like about this here is I seen this next pop up, but what we see is a 5 minute lower high, right? We see this high was confirmed at this 314. We make this 5 minute pushes up, but we fail to go higher above that. So this is a good representation of bearish market structure. So once I seen this failure here, a 5 minute failure to go higher, I decided, hey, this is a good time to go into the QQQ puts because ultimately your stop loss is high a day, giving you around a 50 to 60 cent stop loss. That sets you up for success. I'm risking very little for a plus $5 move. Over 300%. I didn't hold for 300%. I took my fair and honest 80%. However, yeah, it was an insane trade. And what I really like to emphasize is the price action. The price action is key. I'm not so focused on my supply zone. While it did work out perfectly, the price action showed bearish market structure, a failure to go higher, and simply a perfect entry. So therefore, you're risking less and you're ultimately profiting a lot more. So that was the whole basis around the trade. Now, I can say I could have done better with holding this longer, but I was personally happy. And, if you're in Team Bull, you have the option to hold longer, right? You have the option to keep holding and following your own plan. And that's why I like to go and specify on my channel, like, hey, I really like QQQ puts here. Personally, I'm taking a 50-cent stop loss. The high a day is that's going to be my stop, and I'm just taking the trade. And it's always up to you to play it how you want to, but I think we did very well on Team Bull, and a lot of people caught it, and we have some happy campers. So it definitely made my day.
The whole campsite is always happy at Team Bull. Come on now, not some. But on the real though, you absolutely crushed that, bro. And you're teaching some supply and demand. What I most like about your strategy, best part, is that you don't trade the open. You make it like a point not to trade the first 15, 30 minutes. And so for you, like your trades work nice for slower people, people who might trade midday, people who like to sit at the desk all day. Like, you sit and wait for your structure to form and you execute. Like that's been kind of like the theme for you. And it's worked out really, really well and very beginner friendly. So kudos to you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were just talking on the phone earlier, and it's like, I don't call out many trades. I call them, a few each week, but I'm trying to find the quality to where, I'm finding the bigger move and I'm being very patient. We all have different strategies. We all have different techniques. Some people might not like to trade fast. Some people like to trade slow. And I'm personally on the slower side. So we cover all areas and it just works out perfectly.
And especially like today, like, again, you called that trade midday. It wasn't some super fast opening scalp or, wasn't some super high stress trade. It was just nice, easy, and, a fair and honest 80% plus, as I believe you called it. That went like 300% plus and probably ignited some FOMO, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about that.
So in conclusion, GD teaches for free a lot of days. He has many videos on his YouTube and his Instagram that help every single day. Teaches in Team Bull, signals in Team Bull, and overall is an amazing, amazing teacher and trader. Make sure you give him a subscribe below. Tap into his IG at GD_investments. He also joins us live on Instagram quite often, and overall is just an amazing, solid dude. Got some guns too. So appreciate you, bro, and thank you for being on the channel as always.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you having me. So thank you.
Sir. Adios, fam.
Peace.